I've installed a heat pipe into our chimney with an evaporator there. The purpose is to take all the heat which would normally go up the chimney into a room at the top of the house through a condenser. The beauty of a heat pipe is that you can move the heat without needing a pump, which means you can move it without using any energy. This is the visual part of the heat pipe, which is in our chimney. This is the condenser. It's filled with water as the refrigerant. It's been vacuumed down as far as it could possibly go with a vacuum pump, normally used for refrigerant, and in front of the vacuum pump is an accumulator to stop water going into the vacuum pump. The accumulator is also how I suck water into the system. It holds about 2 litres of water, so I have to top it up a couple of times before I fill up the system. You can see the pressure is still very low, so the temperature inside is still very low. Probably about an average of about 20 degrees, although I haven't got a measurement on it. As the temperature in the system rises, the pressure also rises, and that's why it's no longer at minus 0.1 megapascals. The smaller gauge I have there was because I thought the pressure would go quite high, but I've never actually needed it to go that high. I'll probably need a better pressure gauge of going between minus 1 bar and plus 1 bar. Before filling up the heat pipe with water, I first vacuumed it down to minus 0.1 megapascals. This was close to an absolute vacuum as I could go with the refrigerant pump that I've got. I then opened up a valve which is connected to the water and sucked in about 3 litres of water. The system can hold 14 litres, so this ensures that the system has vapour inside, not pure liquid. When the water evaporates in the evaporator in the chimney, it comes up to here through, because it's lighter than the water, the vapour is lighter, and it condenses. So this is the condenser. It comes in through the top of the condenser, goes back to being a liquid, and then comes out through the bottom, and then goes back in through the chimney through this hole. The clicking noise you hear at the moment is the bubbling of the water from the evaporator up into the condenser. It can rock around a little bit when it starts moving, and then you start feeling heat in this top corner here, and the heat slowly moves across and then slowly down. Next is the template of the chimney. This is the triangular section above the fire, and then this is where the chimney goes. Using the template, make a heat exchanger called the evaporator by bending copper pipe and holding the copper pipe together with electrical cable wire, some copper wire. Here is the evaporator installed inside the chimney. A hole has been cut out of the chimney to feed the pipes, which will then come upstairs. The system works okay. It makes a lot of noise when it's heating up and bubbling around, and I think that's because of large pressure drops that I've got in the system. I've got some large expansions and some pipes which could be larger. It's not rejecting too much heat at the moment, and I think that's because of the pressure drops, which is something I have to look at in the future. I added this tap at the bottom to pressurise the system and to check for leaks, because it's easier to see water leaking than it is to see air going into the system. I pressurised it up to 10 or 11 bar, and as I'm only going to see about 1 bar, this is heaps. The last thing I have to do is remove those bricks and put a decent bracket to hold it to the chimney and the wall. And then I'll get heat moving without using any energy.